Hi, everyone. And talking about something fun this week. So, of course, there's going to be another challenge for you. Expectations, something that I have talked about before, a time or two. I forgot to scour my blog to see how many times, but it's something that I actually do talk and think about quite a lot, but it's really up for me right now. And so I'm going to give you the challenge right up front. The challenge is if you can figure it out. Like, figure out how to go somewhere. A trip is great. If you've loved somewhere that you've been, somewhere where you could drive to, something you could do this week or soon, or if it's not a trip, just a place nearby that you have liked before, that you loved, that you had such a great time and you have great memories about. Find that place, go. Like I just went to Kripalu, which is a yoga retreat center. I've been there, I think that was my 6th time. I've kind of lost count because COVID was in there. And then last year I didn't go, but it's been quite a few times and I've always loved it. And what you will notice when you've had a really great time somewhere is when you're going back, you have an expectation that it will be like that time before. So I'm not saying that my time at Kripalu wasn't good. It was amazing as always, but it was different than I expected. So I always get the same level of room. I don't mind sharing the hall bath, but I am kind of tall, so I like to get the queen size bed. And since I'm only there for a few days, I do like to see the view. So it's the same kind of room every time. But this time, my room was very different than the last one. And I think the last one was actually really extra nicer than any other room I've had before. It actually had nightstands. It had like pretty throw pillows on the bed. This is not something that is typical at Kripalu. So I think maybe last time I got extra spoiled somehow. So this time, I just had an expectation to be that same kind of room in my head. And really the rooms they're concrete, little squares. The walls are concrete. They conduct every noise from the room next to you. I did not have that the last time. The walls of the room I was in the last time were not made of concrete. It was different. Anyway, it was different. So that's the thing is like, this is such a great time to learn a lesson in dealing with expectations and just changing with, here's what's happening right now. And so I thought I'm going to throw that challenge out to you guys to go somewhere that you've loved. It will probably be different because nothing can ever match up to our experience in our mind of how great something was. Almost never. I shouldn't say never. I try not to do generalizations, but almost never. But if we are open enough to push those expectations aside, or if we didn't do that before and we get there and it's different, if we're able to let that go, now we can create a new best time ever. So just something to think about. So go see, or even if you don't have time to do this, or you're not choosing, I should say, to have time to do this week, think about a time that happened to you. And were you able to put it aside, or did it end up kind of squelching things a little bit for you? So think about that. Not to be mixed up with the fine line of one of my favorite positive psychology premises, which is having things to look forward to. We should always look forward to things. But expectations, in the 12-step world, they say those are premeditated resentments. So just having the fact that there is a saying like that just tells you most things that we're having an expectation. This person will act like this service will be the same as this. The people will know me, and maybe they don't know you, or just a million things can happen. Right? So even just thinking about my trip, I went to the Clark Institute, which I've driven by it so many times I had no idea it was there. It wasn't supposed to be on my radar, I guess, until now. Now in my life, I can truly appreciate it. And I audibly gasped a few times by myself, which I wished I'd had somebody else to gasp with as I walked through. But it was right there, and it exceeded my expectations because I didn't read a lot ahead. I had friends that told me I should go, and I trust them. They know what I like, and they were right on the money. So that was a greater than expected, and I guess not having an expectation helped me in that way. I was surprised around every corner. Okay, so then on the way driving, it rained the whole time. I was not expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting the room. I wanted to do a sound bath. It was full. There was nowhere to sign up online, so I missed it. I had an expectation that I may or may not get into it. I just went to the door this morning. I waited and I did get in, but I let go of my expectation, and I guess attachment goes along with that. So I detached from the outcome. I had in my mind either way would be okay, and I would make the best of it. So I'm giving you lots to think about today, but I would love to hear from some of you on this. Expectations, letting ourselves free, just letting it be what it is, and don't miss the moment while you're upset that it's not how you thought it was going to be, or how it should have been, or how it used to be, or how it was once. Anyway, that's my message this week, and I hope you have a great week, kind of having fun with this, and let's laugh about it. Let's just be okay with things and figure out how to make them okay instead of spending precious minutes of our lives not being happy about things, putting ourselves into our own suffering, right? Because it's all mindset. Okay, that's it for now. I will see you next week. Have a great week ahead. It's going to be, oh my gosh, it's going to be Labor Day weekend when I talk to you next time. So that's kind of crazy in itself, but to be continued. Have a great week.